Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here on DarkAvengerINCPlus, and today I'm taking an in-depth look at Invincible number 100. If you saw my weekly reviews, then you know I said this book was awesome, and I'm right. See, now I'm going to talk about the plot. If you haven't read this issue, I'm probably going to upload this like a week after this issue came out. If you haven't read this yet, I warn you, there are spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please stop watching the video, go read this comic, then come back and watch it. Alright, what happens is, pretty much the issue opens up with Dinosaurus crushing Invincible's skull, and everyone sees it. Everyone. You even get like a 2-page spread of like every character's reaction to it. But apparently, once that happens, we learn that Dinosaurus actually switched out the real Invincible with a clone he made, and that the clone's dead, but Mark is like kept in this sort of coma in Dinosaurus' lab, and Dinosaurus did it so that Mark could still help him, but he wouldn't technically interfere with him. But then Mark finally tells Dinosaurus that, you know what, even though what they're doing has some good intentions, it's not good, okay, and that this whole time their actions have just made them, instead of being heroes or saviors, they've just started to become the villains in their own stories. And Mark well, I mean, that's not the exact speech, but Mark's words pretty much finally inspired Dinosaurus to stop all this. And Dinosaurus lets Mark go, and then tells him that he has to kill him because he's lost sight of his goals, and this could happen again as long as he's still alive. So Invincible complies to Dinosaurus' request, and he kills him and just walks out of the lab, where he meets Cecil. And Cecil tells him that, and Mark and Cecil talk about, you know, how he was wrong and how he made a big mistake, and Mark admits it, that he made a mistake, and that he does deserve to go to prison for all the lives that have been destroyed because of his actions and with Dinosaurus and everything. But Cecil tells him that, you know, instead of going to prison, he can instead come back and work for him. And also he informs Mark that they were able to solve the problem with the rising sea level by having Robot build a artificial moon to help fix the tide limits and stuff. And so Mark agrees to work with Cecil again so that he can not go to prison, because he knows that it'll still be work that he'll probably figure out. That it'll be work that he can still do some good in and not, you know, have to worry about anyone dying as much. Meanwhile, back at the house, Nolan and Debbie arrive, and Eve tells them that Mark is dead, but then Mark shows up and says that I'm alive, it's cool. And so after a heartfelt moment with his parents, and Mark and Eve go to the roof for some private time, and Mark tells her that he's going to work for Cecil now, but he's starting to realize that, you know, up till now, he's been kind of like living impulsively. Like when he first started out and he just went on the roof to see if he could fly and just took a leap. That's how he's been doing. But now he has to stop. He has to think of things, plan it out, and he thinks that working with Cecil again will help him on that level, and also will help him do things more long-term and big picture instead of just fighting the bad guy of the week. And on the very last page, Eve gives the biggest surprise of this issue, and it's that she's pregnant. And Mark's like just a little shocked at hearing that, and that's where the issue ends. Okay, well, Invincible 100. This was an amazing issue. It really, really was. I loved Mark's speech about when he admits that he realizes that he made a mistake with ever trusting Dinosaurus, and also he's able to convince Dinosaurus to see that he's wrong, which, you know, was also great. And that, you know, their actions may have been good, but ultimately it just caused a lot of destruction, which never should have been part of the plan. And I thought Mark's speech when he was in the coma was brilliant, very well written. But my favorite part was probably the last page, was when Eve said she was pregnant. I thought, wow, this is definitely, I mean, what the issue pretty much ended with was things are going to be pretty much how they were back in, like, maybe after the first story arc when Mark fought his own dad and he started to work for Cecil in the Pentagon. I thought, okay, so it's taken like a few steps back. I guess that's good. And then when Eve says she's pregnant, I thought, okay, now things are going to be different. So, it gives it that similar but different feel. It's staying the same, but it's also going in another direction. In this case, Eve being pregnant. And, I kind of thought back to, and I really wanted to see like how Mark would juggle being a superhero and also a dad. Because this isn't the first time that Eve was pregnant. Because right before Mark left for the Viltrumite War, Eve took a pregnancy test and discovered that she was pregnant. But while Mark was gone fighting the Viltrumites, Eve had an abortion. And I was just very, very sad about that. Because when Mark got back, I thought, oh man, when is she gonna tell me he's gonna be a dad? But then she said, she had an abortion, and I was just shocked by that. And because I really wanted to see that, but now it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm really for sure it's gonna happen. And also, I forgot to mention this, but an old villain returns as well. Not in a big way though. He just sort of comes back, and he's back. That's it. He doesn't get involved with anything with Dinosaurus, and it's Angstrom Levy returns. So I'm really looking forward to the return of Angstrom Levy. Also, what's going to happen with Eve, Mark, and the baby. Can't wait. I really can't wait to see Eve give birth. That is definitely going to be hilarious. Anyways, back. Oh, another thing that that we don't exactly get a lot of information about is what's going to happen to Zandale. If he's going to still be invincible, or if not. I mean, it's the original plan because when Mark met Zandale, he said that he was going to just keep that Zandale could keep the original Invincible costume and the code name, and he would just wear his blue and black costume. And that's how they kind of sold it. Will that still be in effect? Who knows? So anyways, overall, Invincible 100, it concludes the Death of Everyone story arc. It concludes the whole plot line involving Dinosaurus. And also everything I've just said, it also opens up a whole new realm of possibilities and future storylines, which I cannot wait to read when they start coming out with these. Invincible 100, if you've been reading this series since the very beginning, and since if you've gone back and read it since issue 1 and worked your way to here, you will not be disappointed. This is a very amazing book. It's also a very amazing superhero comic that I would definitely recommend to everyone. Everyone should give Invincible a try. Even if you're not familiar with regular superheroes, no worries. It's still an amazing superheroes. It's still an amazing comic book series, and I would highly recommend it to a lot of people. So that's my overall. I'd probably say Invincible 100 is worth about 4.5 out of 5 stars, really. So yeah, that's my in-depth review of Invincible 100. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, Spider-Man 1991, and see you later.